my friends. How are you? If you recall, the first thing I had you do last week was to create a Yahoo ID for Instant Messenger and also a Yahoo email address, hopefully with your screen name so it's easy to recognize who you are. Mine is the Seegster H4H. I made that specifically for this challenge, so if you are part of my team, friend me on that one. I know some of you have friended me on my regular Yahoo, which I'm never on, so friend me on that one. That one will be on when I'm in front of the computer a lot, so I'm accessible to you. Also, in your video, tell everybody what your screen name is, and it is your job to try to friend every single one. When you see someone, friend them before they friend you. It's a race. Who can do it first? So the goal is to get everybody on the team on your Yahoo Messenger that hopefully is just designed for this, so you can kind of pick and choose. You can tell it's the team, but that's up to you, whichever way you want to do it. Wow, what a first week. It's weird because I was kind of engulfed with all the things I was doing for this channel, for Halloween, for getting this whole thing started. It's actually going to get easier from now on out, now that we're in the challenge, because this is the part I do well, leading by example. But yeah, besides all that, on Thursday I got to play some softball again. Our team is in second place, and I hit a double, a triple, 3 RBIs, had 4 putouts and 2 assists. Not bad for an old man. I don't know how many calories I burned or whatever. I didn't have my calorie counter or anything like that on it. It just felt really good. Eating has been phenomenal the last couple weeks. I've been granting myself a scheduled deviation on Sunday, which is one very meal without restriction, but I'm trying to obviously keep the mass quantities I'm shoving down my throat when I do that to a minimum. But in any case, exercising has been okay. I'm actually going to, now that we're in the full swing of this thing, we're going to up the intensity on that. I really want to get focused and really focused, I mean, on transforming the body. But obviously, hard work always pays dividends. As I said, if I do things right, I will always lose, and my goal is to lose every single week. And let's see what we did this week. Oh my goodness! That's like 4.6 pounds, I think it was. So that 2 weeks ago, that 215.4 or 2 or whatever it was, is like a long memory. I've totally erased it. I got back into ketosis this week, doing the low carb thing, and it's been a great week. So that's just about me. I'm not going to ramble on and on and on about me. Let's talk about what we're going to do this week. All right, so for your videos for this week, which maybe you've made some of them or not, I don't have any specific requirements about them other than showing us your progress. What we're going to do going forward, and we're going to start this week, is I'm actually going to group you into either groups of 3 or 4, and it's because I am not going to micromanage. I cannot micromanage your weight loss. I cannot micromanage any of those types of things. I want you not only to be able to manage each other while I manage the group, but also to get to know each other. So each week I'm going to group you into a group of 4. This might be a little tricky this first week because as I saw a couple of the entry videos, a couple of people are not in town. So hopefully they have their little laptops and they're available, or they're even making videos, because that is one of the criteria. But at the same time, I'm going to be a little lenient. So if you can't get a hold of everybody, that's fine. But when you see your name with other people's names in your group, which I'm going to flash in front of you in just a moment, the first thing I want you to do is reach out to them via YouTube email, or if you have them on Messenger, message them. And you have 2 tasks to do with these people. Number 1, they're going to act, I like to call them my accountability buddies. Within your group, you're going to report to each other what you've been eating, what you've been doing, all these wonderful things. A way to keep yourselves honest. Also, I want you to lean on each other, if need be, if possible, to the best you can. I mean, I can't make you be at each other's beck and call 24/7. We all have lives, but at the best you can. But the other thing is, I want you, hopefully, to get to know something about each other that maybe you can report on your next video. So that could be cool. But in any case, the most important thing is to have specific people that you are accountable to within each week. And I'm thinking I'm going to kind of rotate teams week to week so you can kind of get to know everybody. So hopefully that's a cool idea. We'll see how this works. It really worked in the summer challenge when we just did one-on-one. Now that this is a bigger scale, and not everybody is as outgoing as other people, I'm going to kind of group you, going to kind of group you. I hope you like that. And don't worry, yes, I'm a participant. I will be in one of the groups. It will be completely random. And don't worry if you wanted to be on so-and-so's group or so-and-so's group, or why do they get to be in your group, Greg? That's not fair. We're going to be rotating. So pay attention right now. All right, so everybody on Team 1, we haven't figured out a team name yet. Maybe we should figure that out this coming week too. But you know what your accountability buddy team is. Reach out to each other. Also, it is your duty as a team member of Team 1, of course, to put up your video response, but also to watch and give feedback not only to everybody in your team, but also to me. I need it as well. I need to push through this thing to be successful. We all need each other. I know way too many people here on YouTube, people that I've met in person from YouTube, people that I know in person around here. It's kind of this universal thing. It's a trait called being human. But I'll let their emotions run rampant. I mean, so much so that they always say, you know, or I could always kind of define it as we're always living in the moment. And some people say that's a good thing, and I don't know about that, whether it be good or bad. But when you live in the moment, when you're high on emotion, we tend to make very impulsive decisions, sometimes about food, sometimes about the way we deal with our relationships, sometimes about the way we deal with our jobs, or any choice that you might make. And my advice to you is always think of the big picture, the phrase, the big picture. How is what I'm going to do at this moment going to affect the big picture? Because too many people they're so caught up in the moment that they can't take into consideration the big picture, which negatively affects their relationships. It can alienate themselves from people. It can make them eat and binge and then feel even more guilty about it. It can make them make wrong decisions that you go and look back and say, why did I do that? One of the things I take a lot of pride in, I'm very happy, and I didn't always do this, is as I kind of progressed and as I've evolved, and a lot of this has happened in this year, is almost every decision I make, it's almost automatic. Before I make that decision, I see what the consequences are, because I am looking, how does this affect the big picture? Little tiny battles, little tiny defeats should not affect you. You should keep your eye on the big picture. In other words, how many times have you heard that? Don't sweat the small stuff. Remember that. Every time, every day when you wake up and make a decision, I want you to think out loud, say it out loud. How is this going to affect the big picture? And this big picture is the next 12 weeks. I hope you do well, and we'll see you next week.